What is the most disturbing fact about the human body? You develop cancerous cells every day, but your immune system deals with it. Edit usually. 1 in 4 will develop one kind of cancer in their lifetime. The tiniest injury to your brain can change your entire life. Depending on the part of the brain that gets hurt, you can lose your special general senses, control over your own body, the ability to produce and/or comprehend language, your memories, your personality, etc. Remember to wear a helmet, everyone. At the same time, there's parts of your brain you can lose and still be able to function completely normally. Shit is wild. You can survive getting shot in the head, but if you bonk your head wrong, it's over. Well, just this week there was a woman, local, in her late 20s who died of a toothache. She had posted on FB about needing a dentist over the weekend and decided to wait till Monday. Sunday morning she was gone. The infection went to her brain. My wife's boss almost died from a pimple. Please explain. She got a pimple, infection got into her bloodstream and she was hospitalized for 11 days. Almost died. Stomach acid is very powerful. It would burn right through us if we didn't secrete mucus every few hours. Which is also why we salivate excessively shortly before vomiting. It's our body's self-defense mechanism to reduce the acid damaging the esophagus. Scientists once took a swab of the inside of an American man's belly button to observe the bacteria that lived there. They found bacteria previously only known to exist in Japan. The man had never traveled outside of the US. So you never know what other country's bacteria you're carrying in your belly button. Probably came from a Japanese-made shirt. Or from Japanese-made saliva. Or eating sushi WO shirt. A third to a half of all fertilized ovum do not result in a viable pregnancy. They are expelled as a heavy period, instead. Most women don't even realize that they miscarried. I noticed this after my abdominal surgery. When I turned over in bed, my guts seemed to fall from one side to the other. Mentioned to my doc and she confirmed it was my bowels rearranging themselves. Apparently the doctor just throws your intestines back in their higgledy-piggledy because there isn't a correct way to pack them neatly. I thought it was because the intestines just know what the correct position to be in and slowly rearrange themselves. This is correct, yes. The prescription acne medication Accutane turns your bones green. I learned this working in a bone and tissue donor center where sometimes you'd get kids, or adults, who'd been on the stuff and their bones were either bright green or a darker forest green depending on how long ago, how many treatments they had. We wouldn't reject the donor or anything, the bones are still fine, they're just green. People with tattoos often have black lymph nodes from the body trying to get rid of the ink. Till I have green bones and black lymph nodes. Period cramps are essentially your womb suffocating itself. To get the uterine lining out of your womb during your period, your uterus has to contract. Sometimes, when the contractions are stronger, your womb squeezes its blood vessels so tight that oxygen can't reach them, which sends pain signals to your brain. Ouch. But wait, there's more. This process increases your production of chemicals called prostaglandins, which encourage more contractions of the uterus. There really is no mercy. I always thought it was unrealistic how quickly people in movies, always the bad guys cannon fodder, would keel over and die after being stabbed in the stomach. Then I found out just how fast you will lose consciousness and die if you happen to be stabbed deep enough to puncture your abdominal aorta. Basically, it runs down the left side of your spine and, if ruptured, can result in unconsciousness within just a few seconds and death within minutes. My grandfather was a commando in WW2. They were actually trained on how to kill someone quietly with a knife, not quickly. They were also taught to remain with the person they'd stabbed until they died, holding their mouth. It survives more trauma than people expect. People generally assume if you're hurt badly that you die quickly, but most often you do not. There's a vastness between good health and death. Most of it sucks. There are a vast number of ways that your body can malfunction and kill you with little or no warning. An aneurysm can go undetected until it bursts and kills you. Getting hit in the chest just the right way can stop your heart. You can encounter an allergen that never previously provoked an immune response that freaks out your body so badly that you die. You literally just never know if your body will just die. They can come at any age too. My then 11-month-old son suffered a ruptured brain aneurysm 18 months ago. No symptoms leading up to it, and the surgeons told us there was no way to see it coming. The exact words were unbelievably shitty luck. Without a very fortunate, specific chain of events, we'd have lost him. After 15 hours of brain surgery, 3 weeks in a coma PICU, bronchitis with reventilation and finally COVID, we were home 6 weeks later. He started walking in March of this year and now, following his latest assessment, he's not even behind developmentally. The human body is incredible. All those slimy bags and tubes on the inside. You make and swallow between 1 and 2 liters of saliva every day. Also, the human body is donut-shaped. Adolescence. Most mammals hit adulthood in one clean break. Our kids hit a terrifying state of not being able to take care of themselves but capable of and hormonally hell-bent on reproducing. Like, what kind of messed up series of horrors made that a biological advantage? I think the fact that we have packs or herds helps. I have more doubt this would be this way if humanity wasn't like that. Older generations can help the new idiots keep their even newer idiot alive. Not a biologist or anything like that, but my theory. Like how orcas that have grandmothers helping raise babies end up with a better survival rate. More years of being reproductive, the better the chances of making more. Evolution is the blind idiot god. It's not about what's best, it's about what's worked well enough they haven't died yet. People with pancreatic cancer can have a sense of impending doom weeks to months before being diagnosed. Edit. As others have pointed out, there are other diseases that have this symptom too. You can freak out about this fact or just take the moral of the story. If you feel like something is wrong, don't wait. Hesitation is defeat. Set up an appointment with your doctor. Ask them what it could be and how they're going to determine what it is. Ask questions and take care of yourself. People who are suffering from internal bleeding from like a crash or some other traumatic event also have an impending sense of doom. Some EMTs are trained to take people seriously when they say, "I'm going to die," even if they outwardly look fine. Sense of impending doom is a real symptom for a variety of often fatal conditions. For example, it can happen if you get a blood transfusion of the wrong type. Your butthole and your mouth originate from the same cell grouping during development, but the butthole cells form first, then the mouth cells from them. That means your mouth is from your ass. Fun fact: organisms which form a hole first are called deuterostomes, while organisms which form mouth first are called protostomes. Source: for some reason, I needed to know this for the MCAT. Your body will begin its inevitable decline decades before your mind does. You can mitigate it, but nothing can stop it. Or you might be one of the unlucky few whose brain goes first, and slowly lose your personality and understanding of the world around you. You can die of a broken heart. You can have your heart broken and become ill to where your body goes into survival mode and can shut down major functions. When my grandpa's cousin's wife died of COVID, cousin grandpa, just lost the will afterwards. Didn't eat, stopped taking his meds, eventually succumbed to old age and weakness a few months after her passing. Very sad. That our own immune system can kill us by defending itself against intruders by basically blowing themselves up. Immune systems can also get confused and start attacking its own body, causing autoimmune diseases. There's enough copper in your body to make a pair of headphones. Your immune system doesn't know your eyes exist. If it did, it would attack them and make you go blind. My fucking immune system is quite aware and tries to gobble them up whenever it can. I have to take medication to make my body not destroy my eyes. If you have a surgery where they need to move your organs around, they might not function for a day as the body assumes that they are dead. LND nurse here. This is why we won't let post-op C-section patients eat until they fart. That way we know the digestive system is back online. If you eat too soon after abdominal surgery, you can end up with a paralytic ileus, which is where all the food just sits there until it gets thrown back out the top end. If you think C-section pain is bad, try a C-section plus vomiting. An estimated 60% of cancers arise from non-modifiable risk factors. In other words, they are not due to any lifestyle choices and they are not preventable. People that have severe epilepsy can get a procedure done to cut the corpus callosum, which connects the two sides of the brain and allows them to talk to each other. Once this happens, your image identification side can't talk to your word side, and causes issues if you aren't able to look at an item with both eyes. Otherwise, patients act mostly the same. So if you were asked to cover UI, that sends info to your language center, and then shown a ball to look at for your object identifying center, you wouldn't be able to tell what it is out loud. Your brain would still be recognizing it, but wouldn't be able to provide the word for it. Fortunately, it is very rare to get this done these days as medication has become more effective, so this procedure is a last resort sort of thing. My little sister was born without a corpus callosum. It comes with some hearing, learning, and vision disabilities, but it lets her do some weird shit too. She's fully ambidextrous to the point where she can draw with her left hand, pretty well too, and write normally with her right. She's colorblind in one eye but not the other, but the colorblind one is so sensitive to light she can see pretty well in pitch darkness. She gets an excuse to wear cool glasses that have one side blacked out. Edit, just looked it up, and supposedly about 1 in 400 babies are born without a corpus callosum. Way more common than I would have thought. About 8% of human DNA comes from viruses inserted into our genomes in the distant past. What is the most disturbing fact about the human body? Leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.